Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So today we are just in the midst of planting. It is Easter. We're starting our seeds inside, as you can see, and behind me I've got my greenhouse going. And we are going to discuss hybrid versus heirloom vegetable seeds. And I thought this was a great time to do that before we get planting, because I think there's a lot of misconception about hybrids and just their genetic components. And sometimes people will argue that heirlooms are so superior, and it really just varies on what your growing needs are and kind of what you're interested in for your gardening, how you save your seeds, and that kind of thing. So heirloom is also typically noted as open pollinated, and basically what that means is Mother Nature takes its course. You've got your bees and your birds and your insects and everything pollinating those seeds on their own. It's open pollination. Hybrids, which are also usually sold as F1s or F2s, also known as, they're typically pollinated by human interaction. So that can be something as simple, and it's not that, I don't pollinate stuff myself out in my garden. I also sometimes hand pollinate open pollinated seeds if the birds or the bugs and stuff aren't doing their job. But basically the hybrids are typically pollinated on their because of humans. So whether they're taking a brush and getting pollen from one flower and bringing it to the next, whatever that looks like, it's typically done by the human hand. So you have your heirloom seeds. Those are usually like an heirloom you have in your home. They're passed down from generation to generation. There's typically a story behind them. So for example, if you have a packet of mortgage lifter tomato seeds, the story behind that is, 100 years ago, there was a man that had grown this tomato in Sicily and Italy, and he paid his mortgage by selling these tomato seeds, and it was passed down from generation to generation, and it became the mortgage lifter. So with heirloom seeds, you are able to pass down the seeds from generation, collect seeds from the plants, and continue to grow that plant over and over again every year, because when you have an heirloom vegetable, it is producing the same plant. The mother plant will produce the same babies every time with their seeds. When you have a hybrid plant, that's not necessarily the case. So when you go to the grocery store, you are usually buying, unless it specifically says like heirloom tomato, heirloom pepper, whatnot, you are typically buying a hybrid breed. So you can save the seeds from, say, the inside of your pepper at the grocery store, but because it's a hybrid, it doesn't mean that it's going to produce the same exact plant again. So that's one thing to watch for when you are saving seeds from the grocery store. It's definitely possible, but if you're looking to save this exact same seed and then get the exact same pepper, say, every single time, that might not necessarily be the results that you're going to get because it's a hybrid product. So there is like pros and cons to each. So because these heirlooms are producing the same thing every year, you're passing them down. There's no human intervention usually with those. It's the same exact product every time. It's a little bit more prone to pest pressure and disease as opposed to a hybrid. Some of those qualities in the hybrids have been bred out. So you are facing more challenges in your garden, and heirlooms are typically harder to grow. It's not to say you can't grow them, they just pose more challenges than normal. So yeah, it's usually grown for flavor and for product and quality, versus hybrid, which is usually grown because it's fast. So moving on to those hybrids, I have said that they're usually pollinated by the help of humans. A lot of the times they're crossbred to produce bigger, faster product, so quicker turnover. So it's perfect for the market gardener who's looking to sell their stuff fast and in big quantities, but the quality kind of goes down in terms of flavor. So because it's producing so fast, and they've usually been crossbred and all that kind of stuff, the product that you're getting at the end has been built for selling and quick productivity, as opposed to the actual maybe flavor and quality of that product. The one nice thing about hybrids is if you are a market gardener and you're looking to sell your produce, like I said, it produces fast, it produces bigger like yields of stuff, and usually it is easier to grow them because they are typically more pest and disease resistant, just because those qualities have been bred out by humans. Um, but yeah, it's a little bit more costly to grow hybrids because you have to buy seeds every single year. So like I had said, with the heirlooms, you can save those seeds and get the exact same plant next year. If you want to save seeds for the hybrid, you might not necessarily get that same plant. So if you're a market grower and you're looking to sell, say, green peppers every year, the same ones, you're gonna have to keep buying hybrid seeds over and over again, that are usually made, you know, for a bigger seed company than opposed to just saving them in your backyard. So I hope that makes sense. It really depends on what you're growing. So I am not a market producer by any means. I'm not looking to sell, so I'm looking to typically grow, like, say, tomatoes for myself. I'm going to choose heirlooms just because the flavor is going to be there. I only really eat tomatoes in the summer when I can make the tomato sandwich with my fresh tomatoes from the garden. So I'm looking for like a top-notch quality tomato, so I'm going to pick heirloom. There is a lot of confusion with GMO, so that's something totally separate from hybrids and from heirlooms. There's, until recent years, in the last like year or two, GMO seeds have not been readily available to just like your average consumer that goes out to like a big box store or even like your local seed company. They're never GMO seeds. It's never been a thing to sell those. Like I said, that has changed. I guess in the last year, there's been a, if you watch the news or if you're a gardener or anything like that, they have been talking about GMO and genetically modified seeds being sold to the public. I think it's like, I want to say it's like is it a cross between a snapdragon and tomato? I can't even really remember. But anyways, I hope that helps somebody out there kind of understand the difference between a hybrid and a heirloom. It's not necessarily that one's better than the other, but everybody hears hybrid and I think they automatically think GMOs and genetically modified and no good. That's not necessarily the case at all. You're going to get a tomato whether you grow an heirloom or a hybrid. It's just what it is that you're looking for, and are you looking to save seeds and grow that same one next year. So anyways, happy planting. For me personally, here in Ontario, I've got my tomatoes in, I've got my peppers going, we've got broccoli, we've got snapdragons, marigolds. I'm going to do a garden tour maybe the next, like, I've got things growing outside. The weather here has been absolutely crazy. So stay tuned for that, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.